Guys, here we are. It's time to review the final deluxe of the first wave of Transformers Legacy. This is Decepticon Dragstrip, and I am excited to show you guys this figure because this is a really cool figure, and it's just the first part of a new version of Menasor, which is definitely a more G1 inspired take of the character. Definitely going to be better than the Combiner Wars. Excuse me. The Combiner Wars figure we got back in 2015. Here we have this nice artwork of Dragstrip in his vehicle mode, rather, with his dual-mounted pistols here. On this side, you have him in his robot mode and his close-up of his face. And then on the back you have robot mode, vehicle mode, transforms in 17 steps, and he is part 1 of 5 of Menasor. That's right, part 1 of 5. We're not going to have 6, we're not going to have 7, we're going to have 5. And we already got Wild Rider coming out soon, so none of that off-road nonsense, none of that blackjack nonsense. Just going to be all 5 members of Menasor, and I can't wait to complete the figure. Here we have parents in 30 different languages, QR code, and then of course tech specs. And then on this side you have the Decepticon art once again, which can be combined with the Autobot art, so you can get a full picture of Cybertron, as well as this really cool kind of battle, or this kind of like heroic poster look. Really cool. So that's it for the box, and here is the figure, and this is the first one in this wave that doesn't come with Energon weapons. He comes with his weapons, and that's it. And I think that's mostly due to the part count being kind of inflated on this figure, based on this whole gimmick inside that will come into play with the combination sequence of Menasor. But very cool figure. He's very kind of plain on the front, mostly just a sea of yellow with this mustard color on the front. However, that's kind of the color scheme for the figure, or for the character himself. I do wish though if they had put like some silver highlights in here, it would be cool. I might go in and like paint these pipes silver, or I might paint them gold or something. I don't know, something, and then also a little bit of red here. Just to carry over that spoiler detail. Doesn't hurt as well. Something that does kind of irk a lot of G1 fans is the fact that he has these, this front spoiler split in half on his shoulders. It's not the worst thing in the world in my opinion, and honestly I think they could have done it better, but I think it could have been done way worse as well. And just kind of what we've gotten with this figure so far, I think this is kind of a good compromise. However, I can see like if some third party comes out with like an upgrade kit to just kind of attach and bring him back to the back a little bit, but time will tell on that. So comparison wise, if you want to see how he compares with the rest of his wave mates, it's in the previous 3 videos. However, here he is with, I don't have really anybody on hand right now. Here he is with Arachtonite. So, typical deluxe size. He comes with 2 accessories, and only 2 accessories. He comes with 2 pistols, and they're exactly the same. And they're really nicely done. They're sculpted in black plastic with this purple paint, this metallic purple paint all around. Looks beautiful. Definitely fits the character and definitely looks like his G1 weapons. Now in G1 he only had 1 of these weapons, however they include 2, and I think they're going to include 2 weapons for all of the figures in the in this set of this combiner set, so that you can like combine them side by side like this, or they can be both placed on the vehicle mode, just to kind of emulate the dual blasters on the vehicle modes in the G1 toys. So setting those off to the side and looking at the figure himself, sea of yellow. He's got some red stripes here on the side, but on the front he's very bland. Excuse me. He's got his wheels here, and he's got the wheels in the proper orientation here on the top. However, this kind of sits at an angle, which I know a lot of people don't really like, but it doesn't bother me. At least the wheels are in the proper orientation. These panels on the arms are kind of fitting. I like how they flip around from vehicle mode, so that works out really well. Articulation wise, his head's only on a mushroom peg, so it only goes all the way around. You can see it's hollow in the back. We'll get to that later. We got this mustard yellow here and silver on the inside, like a faux engine block, and we'll get to that later too as well. He's got full 360-degree rotation at the shoulder. It does bump against the spoiler up here once you get around there, but otherwise it's fairly streamlined. Bicep rotation as well, a little over 90 degrees at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. He does have a waist swivel, and it can go a full 360, and it is a little bit wobbly, just due to the nature of the combination mechanism in there. He does have hip joints to get to the full splits, as well as the full Monty. And then he has this thigh swivel here, and then a knee bend there. Little bit of a point of contention here is these thighs are extremely short. Like, these are thighs that came off of a core class figure being put onto a deluxe leg. It doesn't work. I mean, honestly, these shins are like Voyager shins on it. So Voyager shins, core class thighs, and the proportions are just weird. And then he's got ankle rocker and then tilt back. But yeah, these proportions on this figure are kind of strange. I don't 100% agree with Bobby Skullface on, he thinks that this wave kind of looks like little kids or whatever. The proportions of the little kids. I guess I can kind of see it with like the very kind of one-dimensional, or not really one-dimensional, but like one-piece chest here, and it's kind of wide at the top, and he's kind of got a small head. He does kind of look out of proportion. However, I don't know if childish would be the word I'd use. I think he looks more like a little person, proportion-wise. He's kind of like stumpy in places. And here he is from the back, very clean, flat back. And then he's got silver for the real engine for vehicle mode. And he's got several ports back here, so you want to plug his weapons on his back, you can. If you want to plug him into these parts here, you kind of can. Kind of like the storm back here if I'm not using them. Like so. You can store them on the back of his legs. That's kind of where they go in vehicle mode. Or they can go here as well. Or you can like lay one across here like that, and one here. Just kind of however you want to do that, but there's options. If you really wanted, you can stick them to the front of his shins, and that can give him a little bit of detail on the front of his legs. Alright, so transformation. So to transform him, we're going to first start by let's start by combining the legs first, just to kind of get that out of the way, and then rotate his waist, bring his feet up. Then we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and flip these panels around like so. Fold these out like so, and then pull his head forward. And this is a double hinge in here, so you want to bring it down at this hinge and then up at the inner hinge, at the base hinge, I guess. And then you can flip his head in like so. I like how this is patterned so it kind of fits, even though you don't see that in vehicle mode. Up here you want to go ahead and bring up these armatures to bring the arms up to the center, and then these panels will plug into the sides here like so. And then this will plug in together in the center, and then once again plug that into the side like so. And then bring these wheels around and they tab into place. You will rotate here, this whole section around, and then bring it down at that base hinge, and it'll tab into the panels here on the sides of the arms. And that's the upper body done. Now you can come down to these shins, pull these panels down, and then you want to just tuck the legs all the way in, as tight as you can get them. And then these clips here will grab onto that chest piece, and then these panels can close back up around the legs. And there he is in vehicle mode, and he looks slick. He looks real nice. He rolls like a champ. And once again, you can plug these on right here for vehicle mode. And you get a lot more color in vehicle mode. Surprisingly, you get this mustard here at the back and on the front, as well as here on this kind of driver cockpit section. Silver here, silver inside there for the faux engine that shows through. You got the red for the sides of his head, as well as the black, so it kind of makes a little seat in there. And then the red stripes down the side, the red stripes up the middle, and then on the spoiler. It's got 6 wheels. The back wheels, of course, are bigger than the front wheels. These ones have like yellow clips, so they don't look great. This one's actually painted on the clip. So why they didn't paint the front clips is beyond me, but they painted the back clip, not the front clips, which it's weird that they did it here but not here. Once again, rolls really well, and here he is compared with a Studio Series Deluxe car. So there he is with Barricade, and I think he scales decently well. This is supposed to be a very small race car, so it's not perfect. It's definitely bigger than it should be. I honestly think it's more in line with like the older Deluxe scale. How the older Deluxes were a bit larger. It's kind of in line with those. So yeah, so that's him in his vehicle mode. And then once again, here he is with all of the Siege vehicle modes and bug mode. So you can kind of see how this wave has shaped up over these Deluxes. And overall, these Deluxes have been really good. Kind of the strongest one in my opinion. Honestly, the strongest one's probably RC. He's probably second, he's third, and then he's last. If I have to be objectively honest about how I would rank them from strongest to weakest. And it's funny though, because RC was the one I was gonna skip, and she turned out to be like the best one of the wave. As much as I like him, I like the idea of what's coming. He kind of plays like second fiddle. If he did a little bit more, he'd be a bit higher up on that list, I think. Considering he is doing everything he needs to do, though, I think he's alright. And then he does everything he needs to do. However, I don't think his robot mode is accomplished in quite the correct way, or in quite the way I would want him to be. The knee joints are weird. The hollowness of the legs is kind of atrocious, whereas the rest of these guys are pretty good about hiding any kind of hollow bits, any kind of bad articulation is really all relegated to him. He does have a little bit of weird proportions. However, it's not completely egregious, and I don't think a lot of fans are gonna, or a lot of collectors are gonna have him in his robot mode once we get all the rest of the parts of Menasor. So, it's been a very good wave. I can't wait for the next wave, considering there's a few figures that I'm really excited for in that next wave, namely Wild Rider, and I believe we're getting somebody else I was excited for. I can't remember who it was. There's a few figures though that I'm excited for that next wave. So until then, till all are one.